What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and today I'm bringing to you a review on the CYMA CM048S. This is the replica of the AKMS with the underfolding stock. Pretty much everything on this gun is made out of metal with the exception of the pistol grip, the rear and front sight, possibly a part here, and everything else is made out of metal. Makes this thing pretty hefty, I'm not gonna lie. Now, because this is the underfolding stock, you can fold the stock inwards. You just press the button right here, you can swing it down, fold this out, and you can fold that. Easier storage, and you can shoot like this as well. It's more compact. However, downside is it's harder to move the safety lever. You kind of have to dig your fingers underneath the folding stock, as you can tell. But you can reverse, if you want to fold it back out, you can just reverse this, press the button, swing it down and out to extend it, just like so, and it'll lock into place. There's a tiny bit of up and down movement, but it's pretty much unnoticeable. That's not really going to affect your shooting performance. Now, safety lever is here. The first section in the middle is full auto, and the bottom section is semi-auto. So the way this works is flip it all the way down with you're going to use your middle finger to swipe the safety lever all the way down to semi-auto, and then you can move it up if you want full auto, depending on how you're playing. On the real AK, the safety lever will be pretty stiff. This though is kind of in the middle. It's not too stiff, but it's also not too loose, which honestly I kind of like. And that's just my preference, because when you're trying to move this off safety, it shouldn't feel like you're having to stop a car with your middle finger, right? And also, alternatively, you can just use your thumb to move this up and down. You have the charging handle right here, which is also made out of metal. If I just pull it back, this exposes the hop up. Now, this little piece of metal, if you move it back, it increases hop, putting more backspin on the BB. If you move it all the way forward, you're taking away hop, you're reducing it. So you're going to have to play around with this to get the right hop on your BB shots. And if you let go, it has a pretty satisfying sound when you let go of the charging handle. The dust cover, if I remove it here, this is where you're going to store your battery. Now, it does take lipos. It's got a 7.4 lipo in this case. You're going to have to ensure though that the batteries you use are small and thin enough that they can actually fit down the gas tube of this gun. Now, when I first got this, it was shooting at 420 FPS, which if you play CQB, it's way too hot to use, so you do have to downgrade the spring. And so I ended up getting an M90 spring, and this was able to shoot at around 360 FPS, which is just under my field limit, which is 380 FPS. So do keep that in mind if you are going to play CQB with this. It does come with a 600 round high cap magazine, but I've swapped that out for a CYMA mid cap magazine, which holds about 140 rounds. When you do get mid caps for this, the CYMA one to be exact, it is a pretty tight fit at first, but after you work it in a little bit, it does start to fit pretty snug. There's no real wobble at all, and reloads should be pretty easy to do. The wood on this AK is actually pretty good. This is plywood to be exact. It's not the same wood as they would use on the real AK, but for what it is, it's actually a really good wood. And even the tone, even the color tone of this wood, even though it's not the same as the real AK, this is actually still really nice looking as well, and it even got a little bit of wear to it, which makes this AK look even better. The pistol grip is sort of a dark plum color to it, and even though it's not the same color as the real AKM, it's still pretty good for what it is. As you can see, I've got a 1-point sling on this gun. You can run a 2-point sling. You got 1 point here, as well as a sling attachment here. So if you do want to run a 2-point sling, you can have that option. When I got this gun, it did have an orange tip to it with a pin to keep it in place. So with enough, thankfully I was able to knock the pin out and just carefully screw the orange tip off. It didn't even have any glue to it, surprisingly. And I was able to get a black CYMA AKM flash hider for this, which is also made of metal. But when I was screwing this, it wouldn't line up with the pin right here at the front side. So what I had to do is I got a rubber O-ring that I just placed over the threads all the way to the end here. I'm not going to be able to see that, but that helped take up some space, and I was able to screw this flash hider all the way till it lined up, and it was tight enough that it would lock in with the front sight pin right here, which is pretty awesome. So if you do have any issues with that, with replacing the flash hider, that's one option that you can do. The nice thing about this gun is that even though this is the wood version of the AK, you can pretty much swap out a lot of things, including the dust cover. You can get a rail dust cover for this. You can swap out the gas tube at the top here. You can get a railed one, maybe to add an optic or a flashlight. And you can swap the bottom handguard as well if you really wish to do so. Maybe you want to add something at the bottom here, like a foregrip or something. Totally up to you. So overall, this is a pretty awesome replica. I am a big fan of the AKM as much as I am with the M4, so I'm really happy with this. Although I'm not going to be using this personally, I do shoot it a couple times, and I'm probably going to lend this to a friend if I ever bring a friend along to play some Airsoft with me. So if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below, and hope you enjoyed this review, and hope to see you guys in my future videos. Until next time, peace out.